Welcome to the Word a Day English podcast.
The podcast where you improve your English through clear, natural conversations.
I'm Maya.
And I'm Daniel.
Today's episode is for B1 English learners.
You will hear useful vocabulary, everyday expressions, and natural B1 grammar in context.
You do not need to understand every single word.
First, listen for the main idea.
Then notice how the speakers connect their ideas.
Are you ready?
Let's begin.
Today we are talking about misunderstandings, feedback, polite disagreement, and healthy boundaries.
We will follow a natural conversation, review useful expressions, and finish with speaking and listening practice.
Scene 1. You have been quiet since lunch. Is something wrong?
I am a little annoyed, but I may have misunderstood you. What happened?
In the meeting you said my idea might be difficult. It sounded as if you thought it was bad. That was not what I meant.
What did you mean?
I meant the deadline was difficult, not the idea.
I wish you had said that more clearly.
That is a useful situation because it could happen in real life.
Yes, and notice that the speakers did more than give short answers.
They explained reasons, reacted to new information, and adjusted their ideas.
That is exactly the kind of communication B1 learners should practice. Scene 2. You are right. I can see how it sounded.
Thanks for explaining. I am glad you brought it up instead of staying angry.
Me too. It is better to ask than to make assumptions. Can I give you feedback on the presentation?
Of course. I want to improve it. The examples are strong, but the introduction is a little long.
Where did you start losing interest?
That is a useful situation because it could happen in real life.
Yes, and notice that the speakers did more than give short answers.
They explained reasons, reacted to new information, and adjusted their ideas.
That is exactly the kind of communication B1 learners should practice. Scene 3. Around the third slide.
So I should shorten the background section.
Exactly.
Your conclusion, however, was very clear.
Thanks. Specific feedback is much easier to use. Could you help me move house on Saturday?
I wish I could, but I already promised my family I would visit. No problem.
I can help Friday evening for an hour if that is useful.
That is a useful situation because it could happen in real life.
Yes, and notice that the speakers did more than give short answers.
They explained reasons, reacted to new information, and adjusted their ideas.
That is exactly the kind of communication B1 learners should practice. Now let's review 5 useful expressions from today.
Expression, bring it up.
It means to start talking about a subject.
Example, I try to use bring it up naturally when I explain a real situation.
Now make your own sentence with bring it up.
Expression, I can see how.
It means use to show that you understand another point of view.
Example, I try to use I can see how naturally when I explain a real situation.
Now make your own sentence with I can see how.
Expression, lose interest.
It means stop feeling interested.
Example, I try to use lose interest naturally when I explain a real situation.
Now make your own sentence with lose interest.
Expression, set a boundary.
It means clearly state what you can and cannot accept or do.
Example, I try to use set a boundary naturally when I explain a real situation.
Now make your own sentence with set a boundary.
Expression, I wish I could.
It means a polite way to say that you cannot do something.
Example, I try to use I wish I could naturally when I explain a real situation.
Now make your own sentence with I wish I could. Let's pause for a B1 language focus.
At B1 level, the goal is not only to give short answers.
Try to explain reasons, contrast ideas, and add examples.
Useful connectors include because, although, however, so, while, and if.
For example, I wanted to go, but I was tired, so I stayed home.
Or, although the plan changed, we still had a good evening.
You can also say, in my opinion, the main reason is, or on the other hand.
Repeat these sentence starters aloud.
In my opinion.
The main reason is.
On the other hand.
It depends on.
If I had to choose, I would.
I used to, but now
I've already, but I haven't, yet.
These starters help you move from short A1 and A2 answers to fuller B1 answers.
Here is a model answer.
Question: do you prefer planning everything or being flexible?
Short answer, I prefer planning.
B1 answer: I usually prefer planning because it helps me feel organized. However, I try to stay flexible when something unexpected happens.
The longer answer gives a reason and adds a contrast. Try to do the same when you speak.
Now let's do a short speaking practice. Answer aloud if you can.
Question 1. What would you do in a similar situation?
Pause and answer in 1 or 2 complete sentences.
A possible answer is, I would stay calm, look at my options, and explain the situation clearly because that usually helps me make a better decision.
Question 2. Describe a time when a plan, habit, problem, or decision changed unexpectedly.
Try to use past simple in one connector such as because, although, or so.
A possible answer is, last month my plan changed because a meeting finished late, so I called my friend and we met at a different time.
Question 3. Give your opinion about today's topic.
Start with in my opinion and give at least one reason.
A possible answer is, in my opinion, being flexible is important because real life does not always follow our original plan.
Before we finish, listen to this short B1 story connected to misunderstandings, feedback, polite disagreement, and healthy boundaries.
Alex had a clear plan for the day, but something unexpected happened in the afternoon.
Instead of reacting immediately, Alex checked the situation. considered two options, and asked another person for advice.
The first option was faster, but it was more expensive. The second option took longer, but it was easier to manage.
After thinking about the advantages and disadvantages, Alex chose the second option and felt more confident about the decision.
Question 1. Did Alex make a decision immediately?
No. Alex checked the situation and considered different options first.
Question 2. What was the difference between the two options?
The first was faster but more expensive. The second took longer but was easier to manage.
Question 3. Why did Alex feel more confident?
Because Alex had compared the options before making the final decision.
Excellent work. Remember that at B1 level, understanding the main idea is more important than understanding every word.
Listen again and notice the phrases you missed the first time.
Then choose two expressions and use them in your own sentences.
Thank you for listening to the Word a Day English podcast.
Keep listening.
Keep practicing.
And keep using your English in real situations.
See you in the next B1 episode.
Bye.
Bye.